all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I love that. Hello, welcome along to 5-Star Sodas, episode 5. The first time we've done it, no one in the same room. I'm the only one in the 5-Star Soda studio, but more importantly, we do have a very special guest, Mr. Marc Jennings. But firstly, around the table, Al, how you doing?
I'm good, Andy. I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Nick?
I'm good. Call him on it. You just called him Jenkins. What the fuck?
What's that?
Sorry, Mark. Do you know
Start
what it was?
again. Start for the very start, and you go.
Or do you want to play it again? I'll play the intro.
I understand why Andy's done that. It's
I
because
know
of
it's because I read Marc
my
Jennings.
Instagram. Because of my Instagram.
I know. I mean, it's not like I don't know it's no Marc Jennings, but anyway, welcome along to the podcast, Davy Jenkins.
It's good to be here with such close friends that know me so well.
Whoa.
I'm glad you brought the shed Wi-Fi with you. How's your week been? How's everybody's week been?
It's been all right, man. I've had a bit of an interesting week, but maybe get to
Yeah.
that. What about you guys?
I've been
Do you know-
chilling, mate. I've been chilling.
The one thing
Lockdown, the sequel.
The one thing I thought about this episode, normally when we film kind of early to mid-afternoons. I just had my dinner, and I deliberately didn't have a drink with my dinner. Normally, I'd always have a drink because I'm like saving myself. So I wonder how that's going. I just wonder if that'll affect our scores. But as always, 4 class drinks coming up.
Not necessarily 4 class drinks.
I don't even know
four
about
drinks.
one of them. It'd
Four
be
Based
drinks.
on the million strawberry from the last episode.
Yes, which is way down at the bottom of the list. I can't remember how bad the score was, but I do have them in
I
front
think
of
it
me.
was a 0.2 or a 0.3.
0.3. Yeah. It was low,
Lost.
man. Do you want to
Actually,
explain the rules, Andy? For Mark, especially, seeing as he's new to the show here.
so for everybody who may be new to the show,
All
for all
47
47 that
eyes.
are watching, we're going to taste 4 drinks. The rules are they must be carbonated, or it doesn't count. It's got to be served chilled, and it's got to be drank out of the receptacle that it comes in. So that's a paper cup, a poly bag, or a glass bottle. That's the way it's got to be tasted, and then score it 0 through 5. Then we take the average. Easy.
I missed
Easy.
a poly bag of ginger. I don't know about you guys.
Just a quick point to touch, kind of based on what Andy was saying. I was wondering, maybe not an official rule, but what is the etiquette we have here with snacking throughout? I won't be snacking throughout because I've already finished my bag of pretzels. But I just wanted to know. Obviously, we were snacking during the election special, but that was all in the name of science, really. That we were eating Pop-Tarts at 2 a.m. But I'm interested to see what you guys think about plugging in maybe a salt-based snack between drinks.
See, it's always going to affect our score.
It's
Isn't
going
it?
to affect your score, though, isn't it?
But
Plus, nobody wants to hear like crunching the old
that's definitely
aeroplane
definitely a factor.
pretzels you've got there. Where did you get them, man? Is that a flight to Washington?
Where would I get any of my stuff? This is another rule.
Yeah, you've got to be on the Patreon to get the inside knowledge.
I can't actually remember what episode it was, but one of the episodes we were I think we were briefly discussing how, depending on what you start with, the next drink can really like bring your palate back to a kind of equilibrium, or in the case of the last show, it went off the deep end and just kept plummeting.
You went for
Well, before we get into that first drink, the in the sort of like anticipation of this live show, I'd said to Andy about Diego Maradona sadly passing, and I was like, we should try and get something that's like big in Argentina. And after a bit of digging, we realised that our actual first choice was a big one in Argentina. So
The biggest one.
are you football fans? I know Mark is. What about
Aye.
you guys?
Yeah.
I've
What's your-
landed a few bicycle kicks in my day.
What's your thoughts on Maradona in general as a guy?
Good dancer.
I mean, like my earliest memories of football was Italia '90, really. So that wasn't his.
Crowning glory.
Aye, but then
Was that the one with the pure run out of the camera?
no, was that no America? Was that no USA '94?
Do you know Jennings?
What's that? What one did it do?
The Coke one where he
Aye, when
runs
he was
the
out
off
his nut.
camera. Is
I'm
that,
sure
was
that
that
was
Italia 90?
1994. No, Italia
that's
90. 90 they got to the final and lost.
Yeah. But I see my only real memory of Italian 90s is Toto Scalacci, who was the top scorer on Italian 90. I mean, I'm older than you guys, so I mean, that's no
It was the year I was born, so
fuck up you. Yeah, I'm after the show.
I do remember playing quite a popular Mega Drive title by the name of World Cup Italian 90. At the time.
I remember that actually.
Yeah.
Was that the one where you could run away for the referee?
I
No,
think
it's
so.
FIFA 95.
FIFA 95.
Or was it? What was it? Was it Gary? There was a Gary Lineker game, and I'm sure you could run away for the referee in that one.
I was just about eating crisps.
What do you think, Maradona, Jennings?
Well, you know, he's like it's hard not to love him, especially if you're like, I mean, the guy obviously scored them, had goals against England, just an amazing player, and then like, when he retired, they ended up hanging about with like Fidel Castro and that. So if like you're like a Scottish kind of left-leaning person, like you can't help but love him. Do you know what I mean?
Don't you think in a way though that when you see, if you were to just Google Maradona and see like the different states he has had his body in, you're like, you kind of can't help but think, is Maradona secretly forgiven? Because like you could see like it's kind of, if you were to maybe like, I don't know, look at some Scottish players of the past, obviously not on the same level as him, but like maybe body weight at times could have been going up and down like that.
It's more like Ricky Hatton. Remember, he used to always get fat in between fights.
I could never understand that, especially now being like a UFC fan. Like, how did these guys get so big in between?
Did you see
That's more like in boxing. A lot of boxers get completely out of shape and then just get back in.
Did you see the tweet that Celtic put out? They put out like a sad to hear of the passing. There was just a couple of pictures of Maradona, like a Celtic top on, and then the wee guy replied, "Great appointment. Hope he makes a difference. Hope he makes a change." And then his next reply was like, "Ah, fuck! I just read the caption."
He would have really turned the season round for Celtic.
Mark had a good joke yesterday.
He'd be less an alky than their current manager.
I text Mark yesterday saying, "Is now the best time to maybe buy season tickets?" And Mark said, "If you're to apply for a season ticket, then you might end up in the dugout."
Aye. But no, I mean, Maradona, great player. I mean, it's like he made a difference to the game, and he's always going to be talked about as one of the best. So you can't.
I couldn't believe he was only 60. Am I right?
Aye. Did you see his doctors actually like being questioned now? Like in the same kind of vibe as like a Michael Jackson doctor. Like,
oh, really?
It was like,
he made a mistake getting the same guy.
Tell us about the canyon.
Will we get cracked straight in then? Will we just get straight in?
Yeah, I think we can put this. This is a nice link in. If everyone could grab
the freshly
nice
chilled
can
drink.
of Materva.
Look at this, 4 in a row, man. All of them up there.
What is this?
I'm just dropping water all on my fucking laptop.
What?
Nick, that is a good question. Do you want to know what this is? Because I came prepared.
I do.
Let's see it.
I'll try not to read my notes, but I do have some notes here because this is a special thing we've got.
Yeah.
Basically, it's out of Cuba, one of the most popular drinks in Cuba and Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, very popular down there. And from what I've read, it's made from this thing, yerba, which is a kind of tea, but they're kind of telling me it tastes similar to a ginger ale or a cream soda, which to me tastes nothing like each other, but it's supposed to be quite sweet. It's very popular down in Cuba. Like they said, let me get the line here. It is part of the standard Cuban pantry. This might be the Irn-Bru of Cuba. That's what we might be looking at right now.
But like, see on the actual can itself, it says if you drink, don't drive. But if you drink Materva. Is it alcoholic?
I'm glad you brought us up, Andy, because I saw that too and researched it rather extensively to find out it's not alcoholic, and I've got no idea what they're getting at there.
Is it possible that
designated driver drink?
Is it like a mad like marijuana CBD type?
I believe
vibe?
that's meant to represent the tea plant, the yerba.
Maybe if there's anyone that can speak Cuban out there, maybe like it's a bad translation because there's like another like bit on there. See it?
There's
my neighbor, no Tommy. Nah, that's the exact same.
There's another good line here off the wiki. It says, in Miami, politicians used to use the drink to symbolize Cubanness. And such as a congressional candidate told the media in 2010 that he had spoke about Materva to Obama. As if like, let me put you up on the game here. Let me talk to you about this soft drink.
Just Tana Mojito, mate.
You know why? Because my Cubanness is off the scale.
Let's crack his
Get Cuban.
Oh, how good does that sound?
That does not smell like ginger ale.
That smells like Red Bull.
Doesn't smell like ginger ale. All ginger
Off
ale.
the bat,
It
it smells
does
like
smell
Red
like Red Bull, doesn't it?
Smells exactly like Red Bull.
Although
Yeah,
I've only ever drank Red Bull with vodka, so maybe that's just
Oh.
what this is.
Bull. Oh. Ooh. That's no right.
An interesting.
I like
start.
it.
I like,
I like it.
I like it. I actually quite like that. I'm into that.
That's bizarre, man.
It's a wee bit. See if somebody said that's a banana flavored Mountain Dew.
You wouldn't be surprised.
No,
Dude, that's pretty good. Is that
I'm into
pretty
that.
good?
I don't know, man. It's a bit funky, I think.
Do you know what? I really wanted to like this because I want to get loads and loads of cans of it and just walk around and people are just looking like, what's that then? And I'm just like, oh, this. Don't worry
Do you know what I think it tastes like? You know how like that Fanta fruit twist you get? I
Yes.
think that's what it's like.
we did Fanta fruit twist in the last episode, and we all actually believe that we maybe we romanticized Fanta fruit twist a wee bit, and it's actually pish.
I actually kind of get it. I actually kind of get the feeling that this is like, it's a bit deep. You know, you get that thing where it's like, do we all see the same colors? If you know what I mean, is your blue the same blue I see? I mean, this can right now is the kind of like user like, this is great, and I'm like, what the fuck are they tasting? It's so great, but this is so.
There's not actually. It's weird. It's not strong, but it's dead strong at the same time.
It's almost getting no. There's no bait. I don't even know.
I like it.
I really like it.
There's no. It's not sitting on my palate in any like way. It's not going like this is fruity. This is. It's just this weird blanket taste, which I guess
like
Irn-Bru is
soda.
kind of like. Do you know what I mean?
Cream soda is just kind of like sweet. It's just it doesn't really have a profile. Like, I think this is interesting.
I think it's quite complex. I think there's quite a lot of tastes in there.
There's something quite herbal about it to me.
Well, that makes sense. That makes 100%.
It does.
I mean, isn't a traditional cola, obviously plant based as well, like cola plant?
There's a cola nut.
But did you know the Bars Cola is the only one? What's the one? The only one cola in the world still made.
It's Bars Cola and Yerba. Not Bars Cola and Curry's Red Cola are the only ones that still use the cola nut.
I think I said it then. I'll say it now.
I thought you were going to say
can that be?
cocaine.
Where did you even pick this up?
Somebody sent me it. I'm pretty sure they only grow the cola nut in Govan. That's how.
It was a sales rep for Curry's.
Nick, where is yours from? Mine says made in USA, which to me
it's
like it's breaking the Cuban embargo, but
making Cuba anymore since
did it not?
I've got on it. It's somewhere here. It's made now. It's now made in the US. And one more interesting fact. I don't want to overload it. Just so you know that in 2002, it was voted the best local soft drink by the Miami New Times.
The other thing, 42 grams of sugar in that.
I mean,
That's high.
It is quite Irn-Bru like in that sense. It doesn't taste like Irn-Bru, but it's like a lot of sugar, a kind of weird taste that if you're not from the country, maybe you wouldn't really.
That's good. See the way people go, I don't know what Irn-Bru tastes like. It's kind of like the same thing. You don't want, you're like, you just taste what it tastes like.
Here's the thing I would say about this. Sorry, just before we move on, is so if this is the national drink, right, that you kind of go to Cuba, you need to try this, and it's like Irn-Bru here, or like in Australia when I was there in the start of the year, like they all drink Sol, which is like kind of Fanta sort of stuff, and it's like, see if you go to a place and they've got a drink, and it's like, and it kind of makes you feel you're that wee bit more getting involved with the culture, you'll drink it. But you only drink it if it's nice. See if I was in Cuba and I would drink this.
100%. I would drink more of it. I would go and buy more of that.
You know what? As well, it's cheap. Like, see for like an exotic weird soft drink, it's pretty cheap per can.
Because sometimes you're like £3 a bottle, or something even higher. Sometimes like
I think it's less than £1 for this. I honestly do. It's in that ting price.
Right.
bracket.
I'll lead us off on a score.
Honestly, you want an honest? Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to go one time.
Oh, go give one more sip. There he is.
Going high on this, boys. Going 4.1.
Oh, 4.1.
I mean, I'm going high, but I wasn't going that high. I'm going 3.
Nowhere near the
3.6 for me. 3.6. Really enjoyed it. Recommend it. I'd definitely be talking to somebody to go and get that.
Jennings.
I'm going to say, based on what I think how I'm going to enjoy the rest of them, I'm going to say 4.2.
What?
See, that's what I'm talking. We came out slinging.
What you got, Nick?
Not having any of this. 2.6.
2.6.
This is all right. It's enough for me to go. Maybe you should go and check this out, but
Yeah, that's the Materva
I don't fuck with this that much.
yerba mate
I like
soda.
them, man.
Since we don't have our second close-up cam, if anyone's seeking this out,
2.6 for me.
right there.
I've got to say, quite gassy though. Quite gassy. Be warned if you pick any of that up.
2.6.
Occupational hazard. Feel free. Mate.
So I will give you the for some reason my scores on the uploading. So the average score there 3.6.
3.6.
Sorry,
Whoa,
sorry.
hold on.
3.4, 3.4.
Is that with Mark's score added on?
No, we don't include the rookies.
No offense, mate.
This
We need
is,
to keep it average. You'll have your own column on the website,
Aye,
but like,
it's got to stay legit. It's got to stay legit.
that's a high score, man. For the
I was
first game.
missold this appearance. I thought I was going to be the deciding vote, like in the fucking US election or whatever.
So what a wee comment coming in live there for Jeff asking where we get all our American stuff.
America usually.
No, I mean we obviously search high and low, far and wide. I mean, it's not like we've got one supplier that we get it all from. If we find something weird and wonderful in your local Nisa, or if we're going online and importing it, it's all over.
Don't overlook your local like corner shops, is what I would say.
Aye, I mean, what was the one you were in Renfrew?
Especially if you want to buy a
day-to-day-
multi-pack can singular.
Of the Materva.
Aye, but just because Jeff asked about America there. So
What about Andy? Why didn't you tell him about that place in Kilmarnock?
Oh, forgot about that actually. Well, do you know what? I'll maybe wait until we come up to one of my drinks because that's where I got it.
Okay.
So we'll drop it there. But just because we talked about America, I did have a news story I wanted to discuss.
Are we doing breaking news now?
Hi, breaking news.
You actually look like a news guy because you've got the screen.
Breaking news.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
And you've got yours is more like a wee earpiece rather than
Breaking news. In Utah, this monolith. Have you have seen it?
I've seen this here.
Yes.
This silver monolith that appeared out of nowhere, and apparently it was sheep counters who fly over the canyons in a helicopter and count the sheep. Maddest job in the world, falling asleep at the helicopter. But like they just found it.
Hold on. Pause there. Sheep counters. They found it or they dropped it?
They found it. So they
All right, I was gonna say, what are they doing with like the monolith and the helicopter?
they're flying about in a helicopter and they're like, what's that big shiny thing? The big shiny thing right in the middle of these red rocks. Let's go down and see it. They went down and it's this big, massive pyramid, Toblerone shaped monolith stuck into the ground. And they're like, what? And it's 10 foot tall.
Imagine a
But then-
10-foot Toblerone. That'd be good.
But then to make stuff madder, it went
disappeared.
missing. It disappeared yesterday. But
I
then
see that.
literally 10 minutes before I came on here, seen a wee thing, it's appeared again in Romania.
Oh.
Right, first up, I'll kick this off. I did see this, but I didn't do a deep dive. What news outlets were reporting this?
Barstool Sports.
I mean, whatever. I mean, see the weirdest version of this. I'm one that'd be true.
Yeah, totally.
I just kind of thought that maybe when I first seen it, I kind of thought this is going to be one of these like,
It's like a viral marketing thing.
yeah, and like those like Al, you're kind of into these like
Oh, an alternate
real
reality.
world, real life gaming kind of things where like people have these like almost like cults of like
They were saying it's illegal or something. Like if say it was an artist who put it there, like
Mhm.
they find out who he is, he's deep in the shit. Like you're not you.
Why?
In the article they were like it's illegal to put anything here. Like it's like you can't just go in that land and make a sculpture and plant it in the ground.
Like Banksy.
You can't Banksy it.
It's not a Banksy then.
I mean, he probably would.
What are those laws? Whose laws are those? Is it just in America or what?
Where did they find it? Somewhere in Utah. You probably find
Utah,
it somewhere in that land. I don't know, or maybe it's like
Don't you kind of? I kind of like.
it was a wee sign. It just said no ball games, no monolith.
I kind of hope. I kind of hope it is like a pure Pepsi advert. No.
Well, I mean, maybe I've cracked it there by accident. Maybe it's Toblerone. Toblerone just getting ready for the Christmas rush.
Mate, imagine that monolith cracks open in every country around the world and it's a 10-foot Toblerone. It'd be fucking incredible.
It's just it's mental.
Do you believe in aliens?
I believe in ghosts. Don't know if I believe in aliens.
What's the difference?
But I suppose you've got to. You've got to. It's too big not to.
Alien.
Mark, you an alien guy?
I 100%.
Are you an alien?
believe- I could be an alien for all we know. No, I do believe in aliens. I think how vast the universe is. There's no way that that they don't. There's no some other life form out there. And I do. If you really pushed me, I would probably say I believe that they've had some sort of contact with us, or at the very least are watching us. I would say.
See, like in a Men in Black kind of
At least
style.
somebody's watching us, mate.
See, in a kind of Men in Black kind of vibe.
At least a couple of these viewers are fucking aliens, man. 'Cause
Who amongst the celebrity culture would you say is most likely to be an alien?
See now, I mean, you've got some that are Illuminati, some alien types. They're probably all in it together, though.
David Icke, he's just like telling everybody the lizards to throw them off the scent, isn't he? And he's actually an alien.
Actually,
What about Travis Scott? Could he be an alien?
I see. I think it's more likely that bizarre creatives are aliens than Jeff Bezos, because it makes no sense for an alien.
like Elon Musk is maybe the perfect example.
Maybe, but then he's like, because he's giving up the cheat codes, man. He's
Yeah.
like, what we're gonna do is go to Mars and then 3D print a rocket to fly home. And
I mean, Travis Scott's like got like half the population convinced that brown SBs are like the way forward, man. Or convincing like half the population they're going buy a £1/4 of a cheese again.
Aye, if you were an alien, would you really is that all you would do with your life? Be a fucking drummer or whatever it is and get a fucking sandwich at
humanity.
McDonald's?
oh, God, not Travis Scott.
Or Travis Scott, the rapper. I thought you were a hip hop, Mark.
What's the drummer guy that's in done
Travis Barker.
did he not do an album with Lil Wayne or something though?
He did some rap songs.
Little Wayne.
No, but think of it this way.
Mark,
Wee Wayne.
then a Mark's hip hop knowledge died the day Tupac did, man.
Wait, bear with me here. Travis Scott's a good example. Why can Travis Scott sell the shoes and sell the McDonald's and all that? Influence. So
Mind
aliens
control.
come down, mind control, influence. They get people like, you know what I mean? If Travis Scott was just like, right, here's the plan. We're all getting on this thing. We're going on the mothership. All these fanboys would be like, all right, I guess so.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And maybe influence is like a sign of being an alien. So who's the world's Jenner? What's her name? Kylie Jenner?
No, is it not one of these wee TikTok thingies now? Like fucking Charlie D'Amelio? Does she not get the most? She's got 100 million.
100 million on TikTok now.
There must be a kind of, they didn't come down. They must have came down squad deep.
Mark's on TikTok. You want to plug yourself, mate?
I am becoming an alien through TikTok. Look up my stuff. I'm wanting to become a TikTok teen in my 30s, and it's going well so far.
So are you going to go move into one of these TikTok houses? Or are you just...
What's the
Listen, there's talks are taking place. I can't say too much at the moment.
A text taking place, I know.
Yeah, TikToks are taking place.
Text and talks.
What's a TikTok house? Andy?
What's that?
What's a TikTok house?
It's where basically people know how those like wee pellets that you get, the wee white circles that are in the you get hundreds of them and you put them together. Oh, sorry, a TikTok house. Right.
What's going on here? What do you call those? Like, what do you call those things in Silicon Valley where like you move into somebody's house and like
An incubator.
It's an influencer house.
an incubator house for TikTokers?
Aye, but it's just like somebody's paying for it and they're putting all these like teenagers into the one house and they're making videos in it and they're all shagging each other and it's like just getting disastrous.
Right, I'm getting jealous that everyone's drinking this Materva and I need something to sip on. So,
Okay, so moving
can
on.
I bring
then.
my drink out,
It's your
please?
drink. It's your drink.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's the worst that can happen? Dr. Pepper, vanilla float. Oh wait, Dr. Pepper, vanilla float. Come on, right up my street.
That sounds nice, actually. I'm not a big Dr. Pepper fan myself, but I do like a bit of vanilla liquid.
Vanilla
I'm-
action.
I'm expecting this to be quite cream soda-esque.
No, but I think like what's Mark? You get any sort? Were you ever a float person? Would you ever like put some ice cream in a drink?
Do you know? I honestly didn't know what that was until you said it. I didn't even know that was the name
How's he?
of what you would call that.
Oh, really?
Well, let's crack it. I was already cracked his anyway. Fucking big rude bastard.
Here we go.
It smells like Dr Pepper.
Beautiful.
It tastes like Dr Pepper.
It's but like a better version of Dr Pepper.
Nah, that's Dr Pepper, mate.
Nah,
It tastes the same.
it's not
Exactly.
Slightly less.
Stop.
Slightly
Stop.
less bad Dr Pepper.
Dr Pepper in a cream can.
Nah, this is a delicious vanilla Dr Pepper.
That's fucking Dr Pepper. What is he drinking? Has he got a different batch?
Got a different palate, man. Professional palate over here.
I'm at that. I mean, if it's vanilla, it's super subtle, man.
Yeah, there's not.
You don't want vanilla to come in and kick your door in and
Aye, but it's just Dr Pepper.
beat you about the house with the pods.
It is like that. No, the Coca-Cola they do with vanilla, and you can. There's just that wee
Yeah. It's gonna
twist of it. But do you know what? Because Dr Pepper, the taste of normal Dr Pepper is so overpowering that a wee hint of a flavour like vanilla or lemon or something, you're not going to really taste because of the strength of the Dr Pepperness.
Dr Pepperness should be added to the dictionary. I think
That's a
this
t-shirt
is,
right there.
along with Nick's adjective of grapey. This is too grapey.
See, we have covered Dr Pepper before.
Yeah, we've done it a couple of times. We've done the OG American full sugar.
Good.
We've done the UK.
One thing we've
version.
not discussed though, before we get into the review here,
Where did he get his PhD?
what about the advertising campaign? Dr Pepper, what's the worst that can happen?
Ah, it's Dr Pepper so misunderstood.
But
No,
that's where we go.
that's a line from the song. Like the tagline is "What's the worst can happen?" That's why something terrible happens out of it. Then the song kicks in. Dr Pepper.
What's the worst that can happen?
Dr Pepper.
I sort of think Dr Pepper's like a fucking psyop or something, because like, why would anyone like it? It's disgusting. And I think that's it. Like, they thought, we'll just make this advertising campaign where it's like, oh, we'll just say, what's the worst that can happen, right? Aye, this might be the most horrible thing you've ever drank, but you could get, knocked over when you're walking across the street, or get hit in the face with a ladder or something. Let's just see how much we can advertise this utter shit. That's
You're never a Dr Pepper fan, ever.
I honestly, until now, I've drank it maybe once before, and in primary school.
Wow.
So I remember being in the grounds of my primary school appropriately at that time, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
But I mean, I don't know. It's a weird advertising campaign. You've actually nailed it there, Mark. It's like, this is pish, but I mean, you could have something worse.
I always thought it was.
I feel like it's more like a sort of comment on like, take a chance, man, live your life. Like, don't be scared. Drink another brown fizzy drink other than Coke or Pepsi.
I always thought it'd be interesting to be like one of the main people behind something like Lout or something, like one of the kind of just like sort of mediocre drinks where like, who could possibly be that passionate about something like Lout? And I used to think about them like maybe being out for dinner or something, and like, have you got any Lout? And they've not got it, and his wife's trying to calm him down and all that, and why have you not got it anywhere? Like, he's the only person that really gives a fuck about Lout, and because there must be someone like that out there, otherwise it wouldn't exist.
See that kind of before. See that kind of story. I remember after we graduated uni, Mark.
Example for that.
After we graduated uni, we were my mum and stepdad took me out for like a kind of like nice kind of dinner, like as a pure congratulations thing. And we went to grill in the corner in the town.
Gorilla on the corner.
Grill in the corner, and the waiter was like, "Can I take your drink order?" And my stepdad was like, "Well," I was like, "Oh, can I get a red wine?" Mum's like, "I'll have a wine." Goes to the gym and he's like, "Can I get an apple ties?" And they were like, "We don't do apple ties." And he was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just have a Coke then." And then like the guy walks away and Jim turns to me and goes, "What kind of I thought it was a fancy place. What kind of fancy place doesn't do an apple ties?" I remember just being like, when did apple ties become like the pure standard for? Is it pure substitute for slur or something? Man?
You know how it goes. It's like, it's apple ties, Michelin star. I mean, that's the kind of
That's
steps.
the difference.
But see that what you're talking about, Lil? That's, imagine an ad campaign and it's those two women that used to do the ads, the Lilt ladies. I mean, they're probably dead by now, but
I don't remember that.
I don't even remember that.
They were. It was a bit. Was it not a bit like Stereotype. Hey.
Or like, they were. Anyway, right. Well, I'm just telling my story.
Please
Oh,
do your impression of them, Al.
They,
The little ladies belong in the past now. Let's.
I was saying they were obviously a famous component of the previous ads, and like you're saying, Lilta is a classic forgotten soft drink. I can just imagine an ad campaign where they're going to a restaurant and the guy says, "What do you want to drink, ladies?" And the two of them are just bursting their lap. We'll take a Lilta, and he's like, "We don't have Lilta," and they just have increasingly larger meltdowns about this. Do you know what I mean? And maybe that brings Lilta back.
Maybe that's a special episode we should do. And this is actually a cult, and we'll just try to bring Lilta back.
Don't you feel like Lilta is a drink that
It's still it.
I know
You still
about
get
that,
it.
but I was going to say, my theory was, I was going to say, if we agreed to do Lilta next week, imagine you just went to the shop and you're like, "Mate, where's the Lilta?" He's like, "Lilta?
I've seen Lilta for years.
We've not had Lilta in about 14 years." And you're like, seriously? Like, just one of these things that just slid off the shelf. No one cared. No
You
fanfare.
wouldn't noticed.
Just gave.
It's like one of those people that you don't know if they're dead or not. Like,
It's like it could have easily. I mean, when was the last time you had Lilta, or even thought to check on it?
There's chocolate bars and stuff like that. Like, would you notice if like a Lion bar suddenly went out of stock or something? Do you know what I mean?
I wish I was more on the ball there, and I was like, "What? Never heard it, mate." Hey, we better get to our scores.
Do you want to review this, Dr.
Aye,
Pep?
get to your score.
I'm gonna take one more. One more from that creamy float.
3.6.
3.6.
Delicious.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not bad.
If you're going to buy a Dr. Pepper, this is the one to buy.
I'm going 2.2. I don't know what I scored the last Dr. Pepper's at, but that's where I'm going with.
Mark,
I feel right for those watching or listening at home, because mine doesn't count in the average.
I was about to say that.
Just take my score as the definitive answer, right?
I've had it one in primary school. It was shy.
I'm going to honestly give this 1.8.
okay.
That's noted, and I'll be bringing this back up when your drink fucking comes out.
That's not how we play this game.
I did not enjoy it. I'm just giving my honest
That's all we ask. All we can ask.
All we can ask.
Al, what we got?
I like Dr. Pepper. It's not my favourite, but I wouldn't say I dislike it. I've had a few variations. We obviously had the ones at the election. I just feel like, considering this is supposed to be a special edition or something, it's not doing too much outside of the goalposts. I will go 2.6.
2.6.
Can I just have while Andy totals that up, I just want to have a quick kind of word on scoring, and more like the name of the game, in the sense that this is not a game. We're not actually trying to bring better soft drink. We're not trying to get the top spot every week, because if we are, I've been going about it all wrong. We'll just try to bring interesting things to the table, just in case people are like, why is somebody bringing like something that looks definitely bogging? Like, I just feel like that last episode, we just brought things to the table. It was like, bad. No one wins here.
No, I mean, but the thing is, there was a lot of them that we'd never tasted before for the last one. But anyway, just to quickly finish that score, and I fixed it. 2.8. 2.8.
Look at that, man. On the screen and everything.
2.8. So that's your final score.
That's close to being a solid recommendation, though.
Yeah. But I mean, there's quite a lot of the ones that we've got in stock that I've just picked up because I quite fancy the look of the can. I mean, that's what Materva was. It was just like, none of you know what this was.
That's a nice can, though, isn't it?
The biggest one of the lot.
The can is better than the insides.
It's like a waist strip, isn't it? It's like the waist strip for Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
No, Andy, you were saying about the Limca.
Limca. None of you had any idea what that was going to be like. But
I know, but now, like, see, at the time, I remember picking that bottle up and thinking, look at this hand-blown, handcrafted, beautiful bottle. And now the more and more we get away from it, I'm like, maybe that was just a dusty old bottle, man.
No. I found more glass bottles, and they are the same. It's like they're reused. It's like they're recycled and definitely getting reused and reused, because they're all like kind of cracked, not cracked, but like smashed up a wee bit around the edges. Okay. And it's class. I went and bought more cans, as I told you, man. I love it. It's the one for me.
It's the biggest hit of the show so far. I don't know. It's not top of the leaderboard, is it?
No, I think it's joint second with IBC, Shani, and Club Orange. Doritos Mexican Cola still pipped it. What's that?
What's that?
Somebody just ripped one.
What was that?
Al looked like he had the most sort of guilty face there. Is that
I
what's
just didn't
happening?
know like if anyone was going to say it, and it's obviously like,
Nah, I'm just going to let that one slide out and hope that it didn't get picked up by the
Wild.
mic.
We're now farting in the mic, man. That's what it's come to, man.
That's
So,
the problem.
sorry,
When you do
Mum.
a live one into it. You would edit that out if it was a pre-record.
good job for the our second only live one.
What did it say?
There's another one. What is that?
I don't know.
Please tell me it's just a tech Nicole.
It must be a technical issue. Somebody's
Right,
off the hook.
so right, we're halfway in. But I've got a question for you because we're in second lockdown. We've been in this for a while. It's been fairly weird, but probably the weirdest thing that's happened of the entire lockdown happened to me and you earlier this week, Nick, where we actually filmed a pantomime. We just me right here, like literally right here.
Yeah, mate,
Which
we did.
It's mental, but I'm not going to dwell on that because it's mental and everybody can go see it and you've probably seen it already. But Mark, question for you: what's the weirdest thing you've happened or what you've done through lockdown?
I mean, to be honest, there's not much I have done. So, like this is both the weirdest thing and one of the only things I've done all lockdown. But during the summer, I was doing some gigs that were like drive-in gigs, so it was like in a big park, and it was just dead weird. It's such an odd experience because like you go on stage, obviously normally you're relying on laughs and stuff, but because everybody's in their cars, they're just like beating their horn at you, and so you're just waiting. So you say the joke.
You meant to be standing in front of them, and that's maybe why they were beating their horn. They're like, mate,
it was at Junction 26 off the M8, and I was.
You were in an open-sided truck, just parked sideways across.
I'm pretty sure I got the right location for that one, but no, it was in. There was a couple in what do you call it? Some Dalkeith country park.
Oh, you did that one as well because I did that quiz up there. Aye,
you done the quiz, right? So I done 2 there and 2 in Glasgow Airport, and they were brilliant. And it was some setup like there's a big inflatables and that stuff. It was mad, but it was just so odd getting used to that thing of like the horns beating and stuff. Although weirdly, you get used to it dead quick, and then you start worrying if you're not hearing horns getting beat. If you say something and you don't hear any horns, you're like, oh fuck, they must be hating this now.
It's a pure Pavlov's dog king, man.
I know.
Just get used to like a new form of appreciation.
And it was weird because you were still getting the same level of the level of honks you were getting was around about the same as the material would usually get in a club of laughs. So you're kind of like it's still kind of balanced out in terms of what you would normally expect in terms of reaction. The weirdest one though was this wasn't one of them. This was another one I done an hour driver in Glasgow. I done it. And a couple of weeks later, I got a letter through the post, and I'd got a parking fine for parking my car at the car park gig that I was doing because I took my dad's car instead of mine, so they didn't have my regi registered, right? So they took it, and then I spoke to the organiser on that, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't. There's nothing we can do about it because it's like the guy who leases the land can't get the people who own it to stop them from to get rid of your fine basically." So I've just had to ignore this parking fine, and I keep getting all these threats to take me to court and all that to so that because I went to do a gig.
That's my favourite thing in the world is ignoring parking fines. I've got hundreds of them. Just ignore them.
Aye, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Did Tony do that in the old carbon?
I ignored more than a parking fine and got away with it.
I was going to say that
we've no asked Al what his weirdest thing was yet.
I just wanted to pick up one thing before in the car park thing was that you know how like that there'll be jokes that sometimes you guys tell in the clubs that are like you would maybe see a couple like disagree on.
Aye,
you know what I mean? There's those arguments happening in the car. Like
she flashed the lights.
Don't you hit that horn? He's like, honk.
Well, that's it. Because the thing about a laugh, it's involuntary. You can't help it. But everybody in the car has to make a conscious decision to, if they find it funny, then make a big massive noise and have the other cars look at them and all that sort of stuff. So there's the threshold for getting a laugh from a beeping car horn, I think, is a wee bit higher than normal. So I think if you get any, you're doing well usually.
I think Mark and Al are in similar boats, so in the sense of like they're both in industries that have been completely fucking wiped out almost. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Andy, you as well, I suppose.
Mate, that's fair. I don't want the
the
events.
events thing. I mean, I
just
forget
want some of the biggest
that
events.
you're like a pub landlord now in your house, but you know what I mean? Like but like there are some kind of events happening some places, but like stand-up comedy and nightclubs are literally shut. Or I suppose maybe in England there's some
In Scotland,
they've started to do a few, and like there was a whole announcement in England today and about last week about what you can now do, and they're starting to allow stuff like that, and you're now allowed to do like Santa's grottos in England and all that. But you're not allowed to sit in Santa's knee, because that would definitely get you the COVID. But there was apparently discussions in Parliament, Scottish Parliament today, about whether they're going to allow more stuff like that here. So
I seen
Santa's beard is almost the reverse of what you need to stop. You're still getting COVID into it. It's everything covering except your mouth.
It's just like streamlining it, getting you the good stuff straight away.
What is the weirdest thing you've done through both lockdowns?
To be honest, mate, I mean, similar stuff, a wee bit of streaming, which is just, again, I don't know if, I mean, I'd like to just keep it light, but it's quite, I don't know how Mark feels about it. It's quite, not disheartening, but it's definitely strange. You're used to feeding off that energy of people in that environment, especially the comedy clubs are usually like packed in. Do you know what I mean? It's like a good atmosphere. So the streaming it's good it's kind of good for the pockets and stuff, but it's not really feeding the soul in the same way. So that's been strange. But to be honest, I mean, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say it's flew in, because it's not flew in. It's just been a total blur. The strangest thing I've done the whole time is just get Hunters asleep. For the first time in like 18 years.
I not going to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning.
To the point we were back doing a few gigs when the outdoor areas opened, and like I was finishing at like 10 and getting in for 11, and I was just like, jeez. You know what I mean? I was just to finish. I was doing like 4 or 5 VMs on a Friday night, like post pre-lockdown on the Fridays, and just soldiering through. But it's going to be some adjustment, I think, for us all. I think the lifestyle.
Oh, 100%, man. Try to get back to work is going to be tough.
It's going to be pure hybrid, though, isn't it? Like, there's going to talk like the whole sort of outlook of what an office used to be is going to be kind of done there. Don't you think?
We'll always have soda, boys.
Exactly.
Talking about that, we'll move on. Right. So, firstly, before I bring it out, shout out to Ayrshire Munchies in Kilmarnock. Took a wee visit to them. Met the owner, Jordan. Just got chatting to him. Turns out with a few mutual friends. He kind of started the shop during lockdown. He was only doing it online, but now he's got a unit in Kilmarnock, and he's talking about like expanding and all that. Sorted out some great stuff. But one of the things he sorted out was Mountain Dew Voodoo. Mystery flavour. Mystery flavour. Now, this is apparently something they bring out every Halloween. And this is this year's. You've just got to guess the flavour.
Right, we'll be all crack it open, take a sip, and then
come back.
We'll all just say the flavour it brings to mind.
Quick pause before we start, because we have done a similar product, which was the Fanta.
What the Fanta?
What the Fanta?
The apple sours. What the Fanta?
So this is a similar kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, this can is giving away nothing for me.
Can I say though that this is one of the most beautiful looking cans I have ever seen. It looks amazing.
Definitely a Halloween vibe. I'm getting nothing from the smell.
No, there is a bit of funk.
I'm in. I know. I think I know.
Wait a minute.
It's cool. I'm going to say a word. Tell me if I'm on the right path. It's kind of sherbety. Getting a sherbet vibe.
Aye.
For me, that's sweet.
So wait a minute, Andy. Is there like a definitive answer to this question?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Does remind me of a sweetie though. I mean, have you get an idea of the sweet you think it is?
To me, that's Skittles.
Oh, it fucking is. It actually is.
But can they do that? Like
No, but maybe that's why it's like all the colours of the rainbow on the can.
But then it's like Cointreau. That's what they use for Skittle bombs, and they must have some sort of Skittle type flavour in it as well. Do you know what I mean?
It's not unpleasant.
Yeah, that is
Skittles.
Skittles.
It's not, and like me saying Skittles probably makes people think it would taste like.
No, do you know what it's like? It's not Skittles.
Mystery flavour.
It's every Skittle at once in
yeah,
your mouth.
a full gob of
It's
Skittles.
like a
yeah.
gob of Skittles.
Yeah.
Skittles
That's
in a
That's
blender.
what it is.
That's a good question that's came up there, Andy.
What?
I'm on the wrong page.
Oh yeah, from
I actually
Lorna,
have to have it.
Lorna
Lorna
Battle.
Batters.
Are all 4 cans the same? Phew.
So to go back to Nick's philosophical point from earlier,
That, yeah. Well, I can't obviously prove that, but what I can say, Lorna, is that even though I'm in no doubt that the Mountain Dew group have a lot of money to do such a thing, I think it'd be pretty like crazy if every can tasted completely different,
Mate,
or
we
even
get-
batches.
We've got monoliths cropping up. Nothing's too crazy.
I think
Anything
that
can
Mountain
happen.
Dew did that and all, man.
What it actually is we've all got a different flavour of Skittle.
Aye, bro.
Tell you something.
Yeah.
This is
That's definitely got the Skittle aftertaste.
it's
And
got
it's
a
not,
nice. It's kind of a nice sipper, but it's not something that I even want to contemplate finishing. A whole
the-
can of this to put in your bed.
the one thing,
I've
the
nearly
one thing
got
I'd
it.
say about,
I've got more than halfway done already. I really like it.
Really?
one thing I'd say about it though
I
is like,
honestly got fucking lie down after this, man.
the one thing I'd say is that see as soon as I said Skittles, people at home are probably thinking in their head that probably tastes like what I would have expected the Millions drink to taste like, pure strong, like fake synthetic flavors. But that's not like that at all. It's actually relatively subtle
Okay,
flavour of
guys.
Skittles.
Someone might have just done a wee bit of number crunching and might have Mountain Dew's official party line for Voodoo 2020.
Please take it away.
The Mountain Dew confirmed that the flavour coming for 2020 for this promotion is called Fruit Candy Explosion.
Taste the fucking rainbow.
That is how you dodge a trademark or copyright
Hold
strike.
on, what fruit candy explosion?
That's how
Are Skittles known as usually an explosion?
Taste the Rainbow.
No,
but
but
they
it
have
seems
the-
like the same.
It's just those that are
type
not
of thing.
touching the trademark. That's all.
they had that ad recently with the guy, everything he touched
I exploded.
exploded.
Yeah.
Also, I think, I wonder, I just can't really see if anyone has. Oh, there you go. It says Fruit Candy Explosion is a non-trademark way to suggest a soda is similar to Skittles or Starbursts.
It's definitely Skittles. That's not
Going back
Starburst.
I would have
Hold
said
on.
Skittles.
It's Skittles.
No, there's a fucking Starburst taste to that. And opal
just-
fruits, I would
I
almost
just
say.
planted that
And
seed in your
opal
head.
fruits.
I'm gonna go Starburst actually. I think it's Starburst over Skittles. Which
I agree.
also I prefer.
I agree
I
with
don't
you,
know,
Nick. I agree with you, Nick. Though I don't mind it, but no, I'd struggle to finish that.
A good one, though. Good one.
I'll
to
tell you what it
have
would be
tried.
good. I'll tell you what it would be good with
Roll on
In some
Voodoo
sort of-
2021.
in some sort of cocktail. See if you top that up. See if you top like the way you would make like something like
To me,
And
that
like a
tastes-
mojito vibe.
Aye.
See the way
No.
like you just top it up. You know, like a mojito, you get lots
a wee
of
bit
lime
of soda
juice,
water.
lots. It's just that wee bit of soda water. See, just a little bit of that. Give it a fizz.
Don't know. It tastes. I mean, if that was in a cocktail, that's a Witherspoon's cocktail to me. That's.
I mean,
not
it
a-
probably already is a Skittle bomb, no, I think.
I'll
Right.
tell you
Skittles
what,
one.
I have never tasted punch, right? But if I was to guess what punch tasted like, it would be similar to that.
Aye, just a pure fruit explosion.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going in with my score. I'm going. I'm swithering here. I'm between 1.9 and 2.1, but I'm going to give it the 2.1.
2.1. That's not a good score, Andy.
And, no, but it's not bad.
It's close to being bad.
Nah, I can't change it now. I've said it.
Jennings, set the bar for the neutral score out there.
I honestly like this more than the Cuban one, which I gave 4.1. So I'm
4.2. 4.2.
4.2. I'm going to need to give this. So I take the tops 5. I'm going to give this 4.4. That's really nice. I'm a
1.4.
sweet kind of guy. I like a sweet sort of sugary thing, and that is it. So 4.4. I'm going to give this.
That's the highest single score we've ever heard, by the way.
And that's why his scores.
Just so we know, Mountain Dew Voodoo, highest single score I've ever heard.
No mystery about it. It is delicious.
Al, are you having a final sip? Give us a score here.
Yeah, I had a final sip, but I like to just do one right before I say my score.
I'm cleaning my palate.
With some helps.
Do you know what? It's pretty intense, but I do like it. So I see what you're saying about it being a tough one to pound the whole can, but no, it's interesting. I like Skittles. Let me go 3.8.
Whoa!
If you can get hold of this,
You should try this.
You should try it. Where is it? Where was the spot? And you got it again?
Ayrshire Munchies.
Ayrshire Munchies. So
what was
try this.
What was the line from Bad Boys? He goes, "What was it? Rob's the door."
Like, we're bad boys.
That's it. We're bad boys. Giving
What you
some
gonna
Skittles.
do?
Is there not a line in Bad Boys about Skittles?
No, it's when he's It's a
Skittles.
It's a whole.
I don't know. You'll be surprised by this because you're all quite American heads, but I don't actually think I've ever had normal Mountain Dew before. I don't know what it tastes like. So that's the first Mountain Dew product I've ever had.
You're going to be flying out your nut with all this sugar.
I'm going to go in and say 2.7. 2.7.
2.7.
Definitely for anyone who's never tried this, go get a can. For sure, get a can and try it.
This is a limited edition.
But you know what? Maybe
have
get
seen
a can and share it with somebody
I'll be
else.
honest though, I have seen it in a few shops. Like even
If you're in a family bubble.
Even if you're like Day-to-Day Express, your Nisa local stuff like that, I have seen it in a few places. I do query how limited that edition actually is of the old Voodoo Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
but it's going away though. It's not here for the whole year, is it?
Look at Cammy's. Cammy's like,
Nick,
by the way, just to let you know, 2.9. 2.9.
That sounds right. That sounds
2.9.
Mate, that's the exact same thing you said.
I might keep this silly fact up. I'm going to put this up here.
Cameron saying, Nick, can we get you to play music? It's because that's actually
no,
not...
we get it. You play music.
we get it. All right, got it. But it's actually it's a Zoom background he's got there. It's none of that's there.
Actually real.
I feel like my score maybe felt bad, but like...
No, I think that's right.
Nah.
You can't go back now.
No, I wasn't going to go back.
Never go back.
One thing I meant to bring it up when we were talking about the monoliths and stuff, because it's something I caught when I was kind of reading the news. But I saw a new documentary thing today listed on movies. DB Cooper. Do you know who DB Cooper is?
Oh, I saw this. It's
no.
This is this guy who he robbed something and he managed. No, he hijacked a plane.
Hijacked the plane, and he said he wanted hundreds of money.
$200,000 and 4 parachutes.
Aye, and jumped out, and nobody's ever found him. Yeah, so new HBO doc. Fucking shop.
Oh yeah, I seen Andy.
He dies at the end. Aye, new HBO documentary. It looks brilliant. I've not watched it yet though, so that was a shout. See if anybody in the comments has watched that.
What happened? He hijacks a plane.
So there's a air hostess sits down the plane and she gets passed a note and it says, "I'm hijacking this plane. Come and sit beside me." So and then he
Chaplin.
but apparently he was like dead smooth, dead cool. Asked for 200,000 plus 4 parachutes. He got it because I don't know if they landed the plane somewhere, then it took off, but then he jumped out the plane, never been found. And loads of people have claimed to be him. But there was like parts of Prison Break were kind of alluded to DB Cooper and all that.
There's like loads of people who are convinced it's like, oh, it's my dad, or it's like my uncle, or some like all the like. But too many people have said that it's only one guy, but there's like loads of people around the world like, DB Cooper's, he's my uncle. Do you know what I mean?
Is it conceivable that he's alive? Why did he want 4 parachutes?
He stays up my grand's, but.
Why did he want 4 parachutes?
Don't know. I've not watched the documentary yet.
Did he actually hijack the plane, or what? Like, or was he just a guy that said that he was going to and then jump out it, or what happened?
Well, I think he did hijack it. He took over it. He made it land. They gave him the money, and then he took off again. I don't know if he said he was going to kill everybody on board if he didn't get the money. I'm not sure.
Cammy's just said he was the subject of the movie Without a Paddle, as well. One of my faves when I was a child. Probably thrashing.
What kind of films is he getting made to watch
What
as a
is
child?
what is without a
Trash.
paddle?
It's
Dunno.
trash
Apparently a
I'll
film.
do a number crunch.
without a paddle.
You don't need a fucking paddle if you get 4 parachutes, do you?
Quick sidebar, what was your favourite movie as a kid?
Oh, jeez, oh.
I used to watch Indiana Jones every single. I can't remember which one because I was so young. But every day I'd come home from primary school and I'd put in a VHS of Indiana Jones.
Nice.
Every day.
I was a big. I'm talking as a kid, real young kid. I had a pure taped version of the Care Bears movie. Big fucking fan of that.
Okay.
See recently in the Dave Chappelle special when he's doing the whole bit about the Care Bear stare. I was a pure flashback to like even the adverts that were taped onto the Hangman. One and Joe, one of the adverts were one of the original adverts in the UK for Milky Way when the nougat inside was turned white.
Sorry, the what?
Nougat. You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember it? It was
Oh,
used to,
nugget, mate. Just say nugget. All right.
Nougat.
Can you use it in a sentence?
This nougat used to be brown. Now it's white.
Jesus, man. That was
Let's
a Dave
talk about
Chappelle.
DB
That was a
Cooper.
Dave
Let's talk-
Chappelle skit in its own.
I'd
There.
like to see Dave
Let's talk
Chappelle
about
saying
DB
nougat.
Cooper.
But hold on, nougat. Wait a sec. Do you remember Milky Ways when they weren't
When they went, what?
white inside?
Yes.
It's
Used to be a blue wrapper.
Still is a blue wrapper.
Changed the
no,
whole
still
thing.
not. It is white now. Though.
Aye,
What
it's
did
white
it
now.
used to be?
It
Brown.
used to be brown. It used to be like a Mars bar about the
It's a big
camera.
thing. It's a big thing, man.
That was the advert. Anyway, Care Bears.
No,
No, anyway,
Care Bears
DB Cooper.
without a
DB
paddle.
Cooper.
Now, I've actually seen this film and I didn't realise that.
His own milk's
Wait a
in
minute,
it.
who? Just, I mean, who is Cameron Brisbane? He's one of the homies.
He's a homie.
Aye.
Right.
He's
He
the guy
says-
who's giving you a camera tomorrow, so you should thank him.
Yeah. I've seen this movie.
No anymore, it's no. After
Came out in
Hall's slammed
Came out in
them.
2004. It stars Matthew Lillard, who's the guy from Scream, Dax Shepard, and Seth Green. Right. And basically, what it is they want to like. I think it's like they want to like paddle up this river to
I've seen
find
this.
DB Cooper's like his hidden treasure sort of thing.
But they've not got a paddle.
Apparently not. Spoilers on the box. But so the movie's not about DB Cooper. It's about searching for this guy who, like, obviously took his 200 grand from the plane.
Sounds like
Oh,
Apocalypse Now. Looking for Kurtz.
It did 70 million at the box office, and it only cost 19 million. So who's laughing? Who's laughing? There you go.
Right. Well, I guess we better go on to our guest's drink here.
Now, what did Mark bring?
But the one thing Mark, I'll let you introduce it. On you go. Tell us what you
on
brought in
Stayin
and why
Inn
you
Day.
brought it. And why you
am-
brought it.
Well, today, as many patriots of this country will know, is St Andrew's Day. St Andrew, the patron saint of Scotland and hundreds of other countries, because he liked to shag about a bit, apparently, old St Andrew. But because it is St Andrew's Day in honour of our patron saint of Scotland, my drink today is Irn-Bru Extra. Irn-Bru Extra. Now,
This is the first bars drink of any kind we've done on the pod, which for a Scottish soda podcast,
Can't
is
believe we're showing off.
pretty mad.
I am very extra here, like in a way, like it's like you've never seen this shit.
Well-
Maybe there's someone who's not for Scotland.
So Mark, I believe this is your go-to.
This is what I drink all the time, right? Now, Irn-Bru, I've not real. This is honestly tonight is the first night I've drank full fat sugar,
Full fat.
soft drinks in years, because I just don't drink them anymore
Going
because
about his nut later on.
That's
that
such a
fucking
that's such a
flying.
Scottish
I
thing
feel-
to refer
I
to
f-
non-diet is full fat.
I
I'll get a
feel
full fat Coke.
I feel like I'm drunk right now, right? That's how that's how buzzing at my nut I am after all that sugar, right? But I was too scared of how much sugar I was taking, and I was reading all this stuff about how people that end up with diabetes and all that, it's mainly because of the amount of sugary drinks they drink. So I thought I'm going to I just in my head mental block against it, and I just drink diet stuff instead, which is probably worse for you. But it'll give you things later in life rather than giving you diabetes sooner, right? That's how I justified it to myself, basically.
The long game, playing the long.
So glad we had this guy on.
So that was Coke Zero. Now I used to drink all that, and obviously, as people know, Irn-Bru Diet Irn-Bru is shite, right? It tastes minging. It's like the can. Then bars came along with Irn-Bru Extra, right? And it is delicious. And to me, like, this is Irn-Bru to me now. This is what it tastes like. And so because I've been drinking this stuff for so long, like when all this stuff about Irn-Bru, like reducing the sugar content and all that happened, I didn't actually care because I didn't drink the normal stuff anyway. I was onto the extra already, trying to get rid of the sugar. And I've got to say, honestly, I don't miss normal Irn-Bru. Irn-Bru Extra is a more than perfect substitute. And I think that it's undervalued within Scottish society.
And welcome along to Sugars Anonymous, Mark.
I think an interesting thing about this.
The phones are blowing up right now.
I think an interesting thing about Irn-Bru Extra is like it's clearly Irn-Bru's attempt to like a max, like a Pepsi Max or a zero.
Yeah.
Try to keep the flavor without like because wrongly.
I mean, it literally says that.
Wrongly, look at us. Wrongly, I think that diet drinks. I'm going to do this. Diet drinks, where sort of marketed as being like this is a feminine alternative to like what Mark described as a full fat soft drink.
Yeah.
And actually, Diet Irn-Bru doesn't even exist anymore. It's now Irn-Bru. It's sugar-free Irn-Bru or something it's called. It's
Right
not
enough,
actually
yeah.
called Diet. So they're trying. I actually didn't hate a Diet Irn-Bru, but no comparison to a real Irn-Bru.
But you love a
big
Coke, though, Nick. You love a Diet Coke.
I will get to that in another episode, man. Diet Coke is the cream of the crop. But I was actually quite surprised when Mark said he was bringing on the Irn-Bru Extra. Specifically, he asked for it in the plastic bottle as well.
Yeah.
Which, as we all know, as
Is the
soda
worst-
enthusiasts,
the worst
it's the worst. It's one of the worst things you could put a drink in.
Is that right? Well,
the
the reason I'll tell you my reasoning for that. Like,
Please.
I don't love the plastic bottle, but what I would say is that I think Irn-Bru notoriously in cans tastes a bit canny. I don't know. I don't think that's true.
I think-
anything else we've drank tonight,
Yeah.
but Irn-Bru, and specifically, I think that was the problem with sugar-free Irn-Bru. Sugar-free Irn-Bru had no taste. It tasted like the metal of the can.
That's the
Um,
gutters. The gutters in it.
Do you get a glass bottle of Irn-Bru Extra?
Yeah, you can get that. That would be good, but then I don't know. Like, I've not really drank glass bottles of anything since I was fucking 15 or something. I was putting a quarter bottle of vodka in it, but
I don't want to jump the gun on a review because we should bring on that Irn-Bru from the new one that everyone was spending £2 on. But the
1901.
it is interesting that Irn-Bru are like. This is what I find like just as a just because it's the first Irn-Bru one and it's Irn-Bru is obviously like our national drink essentially after whiskey or on par with whiskey, or Tennent's. But the thing I find interesting about Irn-Bru is that it's weird that like obviously there is the sugar tax thing, but then they're going with this original recipe shit all the time in all their marketing, and you're kind of a bit like. Why would you not just like have the original recipe but charge more for it? Like surely to get around this sort of like surely as a nation of people that like.
But I think there's got to be more to that because we talked about this earlier in the week with the Coca-Cola flavors because like you can really only get Coca-Cola raspberry as Coke Zero raspberry, and I think that must be something to do with sugar tax, and I think there must be a limit at all as to what they can put in it.
I got a few things need cleared up here. See, right, I'll get to a question for you, Mark, in a second about Irn-Bru, but just want to get my ducks in a row here. See what you're referring to, what the collective here is referring to as Irn-Bru original recipe. This is not Irn-Bru original recipe. This bottle with the date on it, 1902, whatever it is not the Irn-Bru that we know. Like it's not like it's not. It's this other thing that's kind of foams at the top. It's weird. So is this agreed?
Yeah, I was trying to avoid getting into too much of that.
So see the bog, but see the bog. See what I was going to say to Mark is obviously you've migrated over to the Irn-Bru Extra. See before that was just flat out Irn-Bru. It was normal Irn-Bru your go-to.
I was like, do you know what's weird, right? Because I think this is where it comes from. I remember there was a summer, and I was trying to eat healthy before I went on holiday, and I was working I was doing labouring for my uncle, and I was driving a van, and I remember the van driving by.
man.
I remember. No, do you know? I remember driving by, and there was this guy guzzling a glass bottle of Irn-Bru, and me thinking to myself, "Oh, I could kill one of them right now." And see, because I was restricting myself, I think that made me want it more, and I think that's now transferred to the Irn-Bru Extra, which I always kind of crave it. But Irn-Bru was always my go-to over. Obviously, Coke as well, but I think Irn-Bru, I think just something about it being Scottish and just what you drink all the time. That was always what I would drink.
Al, give us a quick number crunch before we open this. When did Irn-Bru Extra? When was it released? When was it like brought out? Because actually, for the last couple of years, anytime Mark's coming over to mine to kick it, like I'll go out my way and bring in some like cans of Irn-Bru Extra specifically for him because I know
Try to wine and
it's
dine.
his thing, man.
It's my rider to hang about with me.
It's rider, exactly.
So,
but
see
but
the
it
good
actually feels like a new product still. But I don't think it is. I think it's been.
See, I didn't know very well. 'Cause as soon
July
as you
2016.
4-year-old man.
And do you know
as soon
it's
as you
the-
said,
It came out to celebrate Brexit.
as soon as you said Mark was bringing Irn-Bru Extra, I actually didn't think that Irn-Bru Extra was like Pepsi Max. I thought it was like the fiery Irn-Bru. I thought it was I thought it was something like that.
Or the energy one.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'm
Irn-Bru
not
32.
I'm not a huge fan of Irn-Bru, but there are times where I'll be like, I'm going to have a can of Irn-Bru. Like if you're in a pub,
But
sometimes,
you would
fish
generally
supper?
take a Pepsi Max over a Pepsi though, nah?
nah, no chance.
Nah? I
No
thought you were a
chance.
Pepsi Max kind of guy.
Nah.
So
Zero chance.
Irn-Bru Extra is the first core variant that Irn-Bru have brought out in 35 years. Everything else is fly by night. This is the first variant on the brand that's here to stay. And obviously it's a response to sugar tax, yada yada. But everything else that we're listing, Christmas Irn-Bru and Fire Irn-Bru, that was bad experiments. But it looks like, Mark, you'll be consuming this for the foreseeable.
So the sugar tax happened at the same time as this? Was this a direct response to the sugar tax?
No, it was before. I think this must have come out before the
Sugar tax isn't that new, but I mean, people have like Pepsi Max and sugar-free drinks have obviously been a growing fad. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not giving a review on Irn-Bru as it stands right now, but the Irn-Bru that exists as the sort of core Irn-Bru right now is garbage. Without actually giving a score, it's pretty mince.
See, I wouldn't even know that.
I'm actually hoping to taste this right now again and be sort of like, I want to like this. I want this Irn-Bru to like sort of like bring me back to the Bars family, but I don't think it's gonna.
Can I just say before we open though, can we bear in mind this is the last drink, so we've already had the palate tasted another couple ones, and it's not as chilled as it was at the start of the stream. So
Well,
bear that in mind.
I've got a bag of ice here. I'm
You know what?
Okay.
And I'm just gonna reset the palette just so
There's no way out, mate. This is happening.
Well, let's do it. Just regardless of the score. Cheers. Happy St Andrew's Day.
Yeah,
Happy St
Hello,
Andrew's
boys.
Day.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Jane Harrison right now, who just commented. Jane's husband works for Bars. And Jane had
Not for long if they see this.
she had the two of them had the original recipe glass bottle at their wedding. And in fact, the last original recipe cannon I ever had was given to me by Jane. There you go.
Let's do it.
Right, Jennings, here we go.
Anyone get anything to say?
I mean,
Let me say something.
it tastes like Irn-Bru Light to me.
This tastes like. Now, listen carefully. This tastes like Diet Irn-Bru. The original Diet Irn-Bru. It fucking does.
But they
No
didn't
having that.
change. They didn't change Irn-Bru between it being Diet Irn-Bru and sugar-free Irn-Bru.
How do you know?
It was the same.
Maybe they
was
just
the
put it
same
in
taste.
this. Maybe they just put it in this.
This does not have the same like hit as an OG Irn-Bru
Nah.
or even that 1902 shit.
If this was in a container that I couldn't see the orangeness, and it didn't have the Irn-Bru shit on it, I don't know. I would be. This is like the Irn-Bru.
Irn-Bru.
I tell you something. If you just rock with this like for a while, this will become your baseline. And then
Aye.
anything else will be too sweet.
That's where I am.
Is,
That's where I am now.
yeah. The only thing I'd say is like, see if like, as I say, I don't have Irn-Bru a lot. I'll just every so often I'll really want it, and then at that time, if I wanted it and this is what I had, I'd be like, I'm not going to bother with that anymore. It's not hitting me, but that's probably because of the sugar.
It's not bad. I'll tell you what, this would be good. That's a bit of a cheat for a chippy, isn't it? If you want to do an Irn-Bru with a chippy,
a diet chippy,
you get like some calories back.
You go all out. You go all out.
Well, that's it. I would never claim that it would take the place of Irn-Bru if you're used to the full sugar thing.
I'm firmly putting the cap back on, by the way.
But see, for someone like me who tries not to drink any full fat ones, or whatever you call them, I don't know what else you would even call them. But if you don't drink, if you drink the diet ones mainly, if you're only you in the market, you've got your Coke Zeros, your Pepsi Maxes, Irn-Bru Extra, I would say holds its own as a max.
It's better than all of them. The only, and I put this is going to be a talking point, no doubt, further down the line. Tango sugar-free is the best sugar-free drink I've ever had. Orange Tango sugar-free. It doesn't taste any different than the normal Orange Tango, but it holds its own against Pepsi Max, Coke Zero. No doubt about that. Is better than them. Fanta
Zero's good as well now, I would say.
I'm going to go into that review here. And I want to say that see if you were looking to like cut down your calories and cut down your sugar intake, and you're like a regular fizzy juice drinker, like this is your, like, you actually add. I know it sounds mental for someone.
It's my methadone.
I know it sounds mental for someone on a soda podcast, but like I try not to drink. I drink more coffee and water than I do like sodas these days. Like I kind of save them as like a pure one and done, like treat kind of thing, like dessert almost. But if you're looking for like an Irn-Bru product to drink on the reg, I can see why you would drink this. But as a standalone drink, it's definitely not. I mean, it's nowhere near the remit of a traditional Irn-Bru, and I don't think a Irn-Bru at the moment is even that good either. So this is like a 1.9 for me. A 1.9.
Can I say, Amy, whose comments just came up there, did say Irn-Bru Extra is the best Irn-Bru in my opinion.
She did say that.
There we go.
And then Lorna's coming in with the facts.
What's the facts?
The
8th of April 2018.
But so they were talking about it for
ahead
ages.
Of the curve.
Aye, but they were prepping it for ages.
If you are addicted to Irn-Bru like someone would be to heroin, Irn-Bru Extra is a solid methadone.
Aye, a couple of years on the extra, and you'll be on the water in no time.
Absolutely.
So I mean,
or just queuing up inside the boots.
I wasn't
Extra.
I wasn't a huge fan, but I'm. There's going to be a bit of nationalism going to come into me, and I'm still going to back up. I'm going to give it a 2.4.
I'm happy, Andy, that you've said it's better than the other Zero.
Oh yeah, I mean the other Zero drinks are absolute trash.
Mark, do you want to go next and try and just like give your take on it before we get the final score?
Well, I've got to, as I say, if you're trying to get off the sugar, which we all should do, and lead a life similar to the Paleolithic period, where before agricultural revolution,
before Irn-Bru,
if you'd like to go back to that past but still want a delicious fizzy drink, you can't do better than Irn-Bru Extra, and that is why my official score for this drink is 5.0.
Oh God!
For Irn-Bru Extra.
A fucking amateur if I've ever seen one.
I mean, to be honest though, that deserves clipped up in its own right and sent to bars straight away.
Bars, if you're listening, if you need someone who, if you need a spokesman, man, Mark's your guy. Obviously famous for the Tenants hat as well.
I was the guy who'd seen the Tenants guy hat. I'll tell you the story behind that photo, by the way, right? So see the guy who was wearing the Tenants sombrero, right? In the middle of summer, it was in Annie's Land Cross. The only reason that I was there that day, right, was because I was seeing a girl at that time who lived near Annie's Land Cross. And the night before, I went up to hers and left my car there as we went out for a drink, thinking that I would stay over. She then did not let me stay over, so I had to get a taxi home. And so I was going up to Annie's Land Cross the next day to collect my car. And I seen the guy with the Tenants hat sombrero, and then put it up on social media. It went viral, and then from there, I got free Tenants shit off a Tenants lager, which is pretty cool. So I've got to thank that girl for for making that possible.
For making it possible. Al, what's your score here? How you rating
You know
this?
what? Like, it's kind of tough because
Give the people the truth.
I'm going to give the truth, right? So it's hard because it's about as good as I expected, right? Now, the Diet Coke chat is for another day, but that is a drink that I've consumed in large quantities, so I'm no stranger to a low-cal, no-cal soft drink. But over the course of lockdown, I've not really been on the Diet Cokes. I'm mostly coffee, water stuff, and then I just blow out on fine soft drinks. I mean, we haven't done a lot of sugar-free. The millions happen to be sugar-free. It kind of does what it does, and I'm not going to... I need to go low, though. I wouldn't pick this up on the reg. Scottish, sure, no Scottish, sure. But I'm going to say 1.8. I'm going to break some hearts.
Yeah,
that gives us an average score for Irn-Bru Extra of 2.0.
That is, I'll tell you what, that's a fucking perfect score for it. That's exactly...
Not 5.
That's exactly, like, no offense, Mark, right? But like, that is exactly what it deserves. Well, it's not that way. Like a teacher would say to you, look, you get out of the test what you put in. Like, that's what Irn-Bru deserves. Out of like,
I tell you what, when you're judging it on like in the same rank as stuff with sugar in it, then I think 2 is actually a decent score for it.
So sorry, like a handicap, we're saying.
Yes, I mean, let's see what happens when we bring full sugar Irn-Bru in. We'll see what happens there.
Right, it's like Maradona was a good player, but see when he was on sugar, he was like a really, really good player.
You should have a separate league for diet and non-sugar based ones. And Andy says that would be at the top of his so far. So I think that would be an interesting side. Maybe that could be your premium episodes.
I mean, to be fair,
the Patreon.
the only other sugar-free drink we've tasted is the Millions one, and that's called a whopping 0.3. So
I know I'd like to see Mark's professional take on the Millions drink.
The Millions
Irn-Bru Extra.
We'll send them a
5.0. Literally the holy grail of soft drinks.
Listen, I wouldn't have brought anything less than a 5.0 drink.
I love that you've actually I do like the world that you live in where you're like, I've found my nirvana as Irn-Bru Extra.
Absolutely, and I stand by it.
Right, Nick, let's wrap them up. You always wrap us up. What's the question?
The question.
Can I just say, by the way, thank you, Amy, for liking my TikToks, and sorry to Cameron for not liking my sex life chat.
Cameron just wishes he had a sex life, to be fair. Listen, I think I'd like to know actually what everyone is going to continue sipping for the rest of the evening.
That's the question I was hoping for. I'm going with the Materva.
Really?
Yes, no doubt about it.
I'll try to see what he's got left.
Well, that is
stand them all.
For me, it's telling because actually, the thing I've got the most left of is the Dr. Pepper. Right, I hardly touched that. I've not got much left of this, but I've got even less of the Mountain Dew. So I think the Mountain Dew for me has been the nicest one.
How are you finishing the Materva off?
All day, and I'm going to order more.
For real, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Dr. Pepper and finish this off. The Mountain Dew. Maybe that'll go in the fridge, man.
You're picking up with your last girl on the dance floor. Doctor.
just to kind of wrap up the scores. So Materva finishes up in 7th place. Dr. Pepper comes into 16th. Mountain Dew Voodoo goes into 13th, which is respectable. And Irn-Bru goes into 24th. Let us know in the comments.
What about the leaderboard? What does that change?
Doesn't change a thing. Let us know in the comments what you're drinking, though.
Please, and talk us through before we leave. Let's talk us through the what's on the leaderboard behind you.
The leaderboard, as I say, no change. At the top, we still. Let's start at the bottom. So in 3rd place on its own, 7-Up Mojito, still a classic. I've went back and back and back again to that. Had a few. IBC cream soda. My wife is telling me to go and get some of that for her as well. So I mean, we've got somebody onto that. The Limca. I tried to buy some, could only buy cans. Don't know. I gave you a can actually, Nick.
Did you drink it in the fridge? Not yet. No, I'm saving it for a special day.
And the Club Orange and Shanny. If I had a Shanny, in fact, I did have a Shanny last week. I had a Chippy and a Shanny.
Oh, you said that. That's right. Yeah.
What a vibe. Oh, and then I had a curry and a limca. Amazing.
So grapey.
But still top is Doritos Mexican Cola.
See with the just touching on the food there, like how would you pair these drinks with a food?
I mean, the Irn-Bru's got to be with a chippy. You're not having that with anything else.
The Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
What are you
the
doing
Materva.
with the Cubano?
Cubano.
I'm going back in for this.
I can maybe have a wee bit of Mexican food with that.
I don't know. This is kind of funky, man. I don't know what you want to do with that.
You want to just
Do you want to eat some Skittles with a Mountain Dew though? Double up.
Nah, that's a burger.
I would say this is the most refreshing one. That
There's
you would
nothing
drink.
refreshing about this.
He's like, I'm just drinking a plant.
No, it's just like it's just a pure funky ass fucking drink. I
actually can't believe that they obviously sat around a table in Mountain Dew and somebody was like, Skittles. And they were like, ah, good one. They're like, what's called? And they just called it something else. But it's so what was the meeting like when some guy, you just imagine like an office temp running through into some big boardroom meeting, and he's like, you have to taste this drink. If your Skittles execs are like, what the fuck? I bet they've got this underlying beef with Mountain Dew. Looks, they've got like two skyscrapers across from each other, and he's just like up at the window, just like.
I just wait for the Mountain Dew flavoured Skittles coming out next month.
The thing is, like, see the person that came up with the idea for the Mountain Dew Skittle, the flavouring. He could only have come up with that by like having like a mouthful of Skittles. Like it's not just one Skittle. Like
you see that, he's got a glass of Mountain Dew and he's just tipped a bag of Skittles in it, let it stew for a wee bit.
In your hand or like gob them, like you were saying.
Or maybe can of Mountain Dew, bag of Skittles, leave it for a day, soda stream.
I've got a quick question. When we're talking about Skittles Mountain Dew, I think I said it's like Skittles in a blender. Mark, did you put something in a blender once on an Insta video? What was that?
Do you know what this is how long ago it was? It was on Vine, and it was a big grab bag of Maltesers I put in a NutriBullet.
That's right. With some milk. You nearly died.
No, I had a big sugar crash after, as I imagine I will have after. That was actually when I stopped drinking sugar drinks after I'd done that the last time.
We're actually the downfall of Mark's life. We're just
So
going to
wait a
find
minute.
him in a gutter in a couple of weeks.
Talk us through that cocktail. You put milk in.
No milk.
Just the Maltesers.
Maybe I don't remember. But
You have to put milk in it or the NutriBullet would just choke.
yeah, I must have.
It must have been making a milkshake. No.
Oh, it's just a fucking dust.
To be honest, I just thought it'd be kind of funny to just like show me putting hundreds of Maltesers in a NutriBullet, but I must have put milk in it then, and I just let a big massive grab bag, put it in, and honestly, it was really nice.
Actually, like talking about like, I remember when I was younger, me and Ryan Hassan put a Twix in the microwave, like to like sort of melt it a wee bit to go with some ice cream.
Aye.
The fucking thing went on fire, man.
You can't put it in for too long.
Microwave and everything, man.
Mars bar in the microwave 25 seconds just gives it a wee bubble. Oof, unbelievable.
Wow. A hot Mars bar?
Aye.
I mean, I've had the Mars bar supper, I suppose, but still a hot Mars bar. Do you microwave your chocolate bar, Sal?
No. I don't have a microwave.
Oh, there you go.
He's not got a telly either.
Nah, man.
No white goods in his house.
That was what you can see in the background. It's just having a white
Just a
room
desk.
with a pair of shoes plugged into some speakers.
It's not even a pair of shoes, it's just one.
One shoe plugged into a speaker.
Stole it off the rack.
Two left shoes.
No, one of your, just because you talked about videos, one of your, like one that's doing the rounds again, I've seen it a lot of times, Mark, is the one about Hings. And I keep getting pulled up for saying Hings a lot, so much so that we're doing a Christmas t-shirt for the quizzes that we do, and it's deck the halls with Hings, and that's what it says on it. But I just keep seeing it, and folk keep tagging me in it as well. And I'm like, fuck off with this prick, man.
Oh, I'm sorry to be bringing that upon your life, Andy, just having to watch my bit all the time.
Sorry, I'm so viral.
That was good, boys. We're getting nails. Is that us? We're wrapping it.
It's a shame I kind of feel like just hanging out on it. I wish we had some drinks, like other drinks, to just sound fun.
Nah.
No, enjoyed that, and we could definitely, Mark. I think we definitely get you back on again. Maybe when you're feeling up to getting the full fat Irn-Bru.
Maybe you've grown up a bit.
Oh,
Don't stop getting five stars. Like the fucking first thing you can.
if I was to ever drink Irn-Bru normal again, and I would like to do it. This would be the perfect occasion for it. So thanks very much for having us, guys, and I would love to be back sometime soon.
Oh, definitely.
Mark, again, if you want to plug before we wrap this up.
Just check me out on social media. I'm at Marc Jennings on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok now and Twitch. And also I'm Marc Jennings 90 on Twitter or something. Just because a bot has taken at Marc Jennings on Twitter. So please try and get that banned on Twitter so that I can get that username. But just check me out on all that stuff.
How you plugging it in?
No, man, I'm just.
It's your chair out. It's your chair.
Oh, it's not, man.
Maybe it's Mark's fancy your gamer chair.
We didn't even get to that. His chair is like mad.
Look at this.
man.
I'll show you this, right? What I realised.
A wee Velcro cushion and everything, man.
Velcro cushion, but the problem with the Velcro cushion is, if I can do this quickly enough, is that when I sit on it, it makes me look like the devil. Look.
I think that's surely intended.
It must
Is
be.
it not?
I mean, they were doing it in blue, and I thought red will be cool, and then I got it, and then it was only when I put this pillow on, and I went, "Oh fuck, I look evil, man! Shit."
I like it. So it's your personality. Andy, you've got something to plug.
I'm no fucking plugging in. Never
Plug
comes
it.
between that. No,
I'm on 3 million. Let's go.
no.
Oh yes, you are.
I'll plug it for you.
On you go.
Live at the Stayin Inn this Saturday coming. Is that right?
I'm 16 folk watching this, and there's literally 115,000 people.
I know, but they
going
could
to watch
make
this.
it 115,016.
Aye,
Andy's doing a pantomime and he's sloth on
Had you
Saturday.
playing 3 characters.
Playing 3
Can
characters.
we get a wee blast of one of them? Just
No,
now?
you can't. No, you can't. But anyway, I enjoyed that. We'll be back.
Yeah.
We're going to be back next week with another virtual episode. And then, so this will come out. This is obviously on YouTube and Facebook and all that now. It'll come out as a podcast on Sunday. Then next Monday, we'll be doing another live virtual episode. And that'll come out as a podcast the following Sunday again.
Look at Al's face. He didn't even
I
know
use
that
it
was
all.
happening.
What?
I was like, what?
Killing, man. Nah, just we've got a lot of stuff up. We've a lot of the chopped up reviews
Yeah.
are
all
all
of
over
that.
the place.
But then
Christmas episode's coming.
that's what I was just about to get to. Did we drop the guest, or do we just not? We just keep it to ourselves.
Fucking drop it because he's texted us saying he's doing it. So
Aye, so let's
Welcome in.
get him in. So Craig Neal, drummer from Twin Atlantic, is going to join us for a Christmas special episode. 4 Christmas sodas that we could loosely relate to Christmas because we couldn't get the good ones. We might still get the good ones. Who knows?
we've got a few on the go. Maybe we can talk in the backstage area after this to get a few ideas. But
All Craig has to do is beat Irn-Bru Extra. So
And not give whatever he brings a 5.0.
maybe that should just be a running joke. The guest is just like, it's a 5.
Why would you bring anything less than that? That's all.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point. But I think that's us. Thanks all for watching, and we'll no doubt catch you all again.
Cheers.
See you later.
Peace.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I love that.